Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Jai Hind, Namaskar. So, I hope I am properly audible and visible to all of you. Good morning, everyone, and I welcome you all to this session. Good morning, Omkar. Okay, so I welcome you all to this session, and in today's session, again, we are going to discuss three very important articles, three very important editorials which are there. One of the editorial is with respect to the judiciary. So here we are having the three articles. The first article is with respect to the judiciary. You may have seen recently that there has been an increase in the strength of judges of Supreme Court. You may have seen this part that we have recently seen there is an increase in the strength of judges in Supreme Court. So we are going to discuss with respect to that. Second thing is carbon tariff and trade. Recently we have seen that carbon border adjustment mechanism. Now this is something which has come into force from 1st of January 2026. So what are the implications for India? That is something which we are going to discuss. And third part is AI and misinformation. So these three articles are there, very much important for your mains preparation. These three articles which we are seeing, they are very much crucial for your mains preparation. And at the end of the session, we will also discuss about the answer writing part. So we are going to discuss about the answer writing also and everything. And yes, there is one thing, a very interesting thing has come into picture. UPSC chairman, okay, if we talk about this, so now what we see that UPSC chairman, he has given a LinkedIn post. He has given this LinkedIn post, and at that he has said that many questions from PIB. Many questions are there from PIB. So he has come with this one thing that many questions are there from PIB. Now let me talk about the current affairs related topics. So there is a lot of confusion among the people that how we are going to cover the PIB now. On a daily basis, there are 20 plus updates on PIB. And majority of them, that is 90% of them, are useless for you. 90% of the PIB updates are useless for you. Now, if we talk about this, let's say there is a topic. There is a topic, Bharat Forecasting System. Bharat Forecast System. So you will find that this information is given in PIB. There is a question on Bharat Forecasting System. There is a question on Bharat Forecasting System. It was there in PIB. Correct. But was it covered in The Hindu or Indian Express? If there was a question on Bharat Forecasting System in PIB, was it covered in The Hindu or Indian Express or not? Was it covered in all other newspapers or not? First thing. Let's say we have another topic. Let's talk about the rare earth elements. Was it covered in the normal newspaper? Was it covered in PIB? Okay. Let's say another topic, Lake Turkana. This was something which was covered just in this part. We see that it was covered just in the Hindu or Indian Express. Okay. Vizhinjam Port. It was covered in PIB. It was covered in Hindu or Indian Express. Okay. Give me any such current affair topic which was covered only in PIB. Give me some topics which was covered only in PIB, not in others. So there is again this post of UPSC chairman. Definitely he cannot quote any newspaper. He cannot quote any newspaper because then it will show his bias. So he has given PIB as the source, that from PIB most of the things were covered. Now you will find this one thing, that if there is an important news article in PIB, it is automatically covered in the newspapers. If there is an important news source in important news piece in the case of PIB, it is automatically covered in the newspapers. So don't fall into that trap. If you start going through PIB, you will realize this, that they are giving so many information, 18 to 20 releases per day, and most of those releases are simply saying what government has done, what government has not done. So don't worry about this, that you have to go for PIB, daily reading of PIB. PIB comes with 20 updates per day. Every day, it is simply a mouthpiece of government. So it is not like a source of information which you have to follow exhaustively for the prelims. Just go through the Hindu or Indian Express newspaper. It is more than sufficient. So that is another information which has come into the news channels, the social media posts and everywhere. And now what people will do, they will start going through PIB. It is not the first time. In past also, in 2017, 2018 also, a similar trend has started. A similar trend has started in 2017 and 2018. But don't fall for that trap. Go with your newspaper and don't deviate from there. Yes, just follow one newspaper. It is more than sufficient. Out of the 2023 questions, again, just go through the questions and see whether it was covered in Indian Express or Hindu or not. So don't fall into that PIB trap. Okay. Now, let's discuss the judiciary part. Now, what we see here, when we are talking about this editorial, when we are talking about this one editorial, it says that, will increasing the strength of Supreme Court solve the pendency problem? First of all, if we look at the context, the union government, it has gone for increasing strength of judiciary. Strength of judiciary from 34 to 38. I think you all may be aware about this. So what we see that like we have got this one thing, like increasing the strength of judiciary from 34 to 38. Okay. Now here, what is the challenge? Okay. We see that the question here is that if we are increasing the strength of judiciary from 34 to 38, then in that scenario, can it solve the pendency of cases? And what is the pendency here? The pendency in Supreme Court, is equal to 92,000 in 2026. The pendency of cases in Supreme Court is near about 92,000. We have got 92,000 cases pending in Supreme Court as of now. Okay. Now, if we look at this one thing, the pendency in cases, so there is a simple question. If we are increasing the strength of judiciary, Supreme Court especially, will it help in managing it? Will it help in managing it? Okay. Can it reduce the cases? Now the question is, can it reduce pendency of cases? The question is quite simple. Can it reduce the pendency of cases? Now, first of all, we have to understand that why we are having the pendency of cases. What is the reason behind the pendency? Why we are having the pendency? So, first of all, we need to examine the reasons behind pendency. Reasons for pendency of cases. We have to examine this first. That what are the reasons for the pendency of cases in Supreme Court? One of the very important factor is we have got too many SLPs under the Article 136. We see that Supreme Court entertains huge numbers of SLP, special leave petition, which you commonly know as PIL, under Article 136. There is a higher number of SLPs, special leave petition, which are being admitted by the Supreme Court under Article 136. We see that there is also one of the challenge. We see that the outcome of SLP, this is something, it is dependent on bench hearing it. Now in Supreme Court, we have multiple such judges, and the outcomes of the SLP are largely on the basis of which judge or which bench is presiding over a particular case. Now the judges of Supreme Court, they have been giving different opinions, different judgments in different type of cases. Sometimes they are becoming too much conscious about the public. Sometimes they refuse to entertain the PIL. Sometimes they are refusing to entertain the PIL. Sometimes they are becoming over conscious for the people. So outcomes depend on this part, that which judge or which bench is hearing a particular case. Which bench or which judge is hearing a particular case. So there is a lack of predictability. There is a lack of predictability. Now suppose that, just to give you an example, if I am filing a PIL for pollution in Delhi and it is going to a bench which has rejected it. Now again what I will do, I will file a PIL again and I will wait that it may get assigned to a different bench. The different bench may consider it in a different manner. Okay. If a bench of judges has rejected it, I will file a PIL again to see whether the other bench is also rejecting it. So what we see that different benches, different opinion, different judgment. This is something which is seen in high courts also. This is something which has been seen in Supreme Court also. So that's why people are filing multiple number of PIL related to the same matters. Okay. So there is a lack of predictability. And hence people go on for filing multiple such petitions. So this is one of the part that why we are having the cases. But this is not the only factor. Who is the biggest litigant? Who is the largest litigant? In courts. Now the question is this, that who is the largest litigant in the courts? Who is filing most of the cases in court? Can you tell me? Who is filing most of the cases in the court, in the judiciary? Who is filing most of the cases in judiciary? If you look at this, this is basically government. government is the largest litigant. Government is the largest litigant. Okay. And what we see here, that they are having different departments, and different departments have contradictory legal opinions. Okay. Now this government, they are having different departments, and they have got different legal positions. So government is having different departments, and they are all having different legal positions. We see that many number of routine appeals are being filed by the government department even when it is unnecessary. Okay. We see that routine appeal by government department even if it is unnecessary. Even when it is unnecessary, then also we see that the government is filing. Even when this is unnecessary, the government is filing a number of cases. In fact, if you look at this, there was a policy, like a litigation policy, a national litigation policy. Okay. So a national litigation policy was promised. It has been there in discussion since 2009-10 itself. There has been a discussion on this from 2009-10 itself, but the union government has not enforced the national litigation policy. Some of the states have recently come up with national litigation policy to reduce the number of cases filed by the government in the judiciary. Like in case of Rajasthan, we have got a national litigation policy. What is the aim of this national litigation policy? The aim is quite simple. It is advising the government which cases you have to pursue, which cases you don't have to pursue. There are certain cases in which it is not necessary, but government keeps on fighting the case, keeps on having appeals and appeals and appeals. So there are many such cases where there is unnecessary appeals by the government. Government is the largest litigant in the country. It is having maximum number of cases. So this is one of the challenge, that the pendency is not just because of the common people only. The pendency is also because government is one of the largest litigant in the country. So this is also one part. Now, if we are increasing the number of cases, if we are having more judges, it means we are going to have more division benches. More benches can produce conflicting interpretation of law. Okay. So what we see, that if we are just increasing the number of judges in Supreme Court, can it solve the problem? The answer is, it may not be so. If we are having more number of judges, it means there will be more benches, more interpretation of law. And when there is more and more interpretation which is conflicting in nature, it is further going to make the process more and more complex. Okay. So what we see, that the judicial discipline is something which is more important than the numbers. So in this case, what should be the solution? First of all, we have seen the fact about it. Then we have seen pendency of cases, why this is there. Now the thing is that what can be the solution? What can be the solution for this? If we have seen that this pendency cannot be reduced here, so what can be done here? What can be done here? Now see, what can we do? The court can focus on constitutional issues. It can focus on significant questions of law. It can focus on matters with nationwide implication. It can also have large constitutional questions which can be heard by larger benches to ensure consistency. So first of all, Supreme Court need to focus. When we talk about this, the court needs to focus on constitutional issues. Okay. It should reduce the number of reduce the number of SLPs. It should reduce the number of SLPs. That is first thing which is required. Okay. So this is one part what we see, that just increasing the number of judges is not going to solve it. We can filter out the frivolous litigation, those fake litigations, those unuseful litigations, they can be filtered out. We can have a strict regulation over the PIL. There is a guideline from state of Uttaranchal versus Balwant Singh Chaufal. Okay. So this is basically talking about this one, like state of Uttaranchal versus Balwant Singh Chaufal. This is talking about regulating the PILs. It is talking about regulating the PILs. It is also suggesting that instead of oral argument, we can move toward written submissions. We can move towards the written submissions. If we are having written submissions, it will be much more easier and much more conclusive judgment. If we are having written submissions instead of oral arguments, it can be much more better. Okay. So this is something which is required to be done in case of our judiciary. Okay. So this is one part, the first topic, that increasing the number of judges in Supreme Court is not sufficient enough. We need to take other measures in order to reduce the pendency of cases, in order to bring consistency in the judgments. So I hope this first part is clear. What is the issue? What is the reason behind the pendency of cases? And can it be simply solved by increasing the number of judges? If not, then what is the solution? Okay. So these four main arguments are there. First, increase in the number of judges. Second, the reasons behind pendency of cases. If we increase the strength, can it help? And fourth part, if not, then what is the solution? I hope that part is clear. Sir, when guideline is there, then why overlooking it by the government? So that is one of the major challenges, that we are not having a proper enforcement of it. Enforcement is missing. That is the challenge. Okay. So on the basis of this, we have a question also. The pendency of cases in Supreme Court requires institutional reforms rather than a mere increase in strength of judiciary. Critically comment. So this one question is also there following this article. So I hope you can write this one question. Now, coming to the second article. That is carbon border adjustment mechanism. So can you tell me what is this carbon border adjustment mechanism? Any idea about it? CBAM. Carbon border adjustment mechanism. So when we talk about this carbon border adjustment mechanism, this is a policy of European Union. And what we see that a carbon tax is going to be imposed on those items which are being imported in case of European Union. So suppose that if there is a company X, let me tell you, let's say this is the European Union. And let's say here we are having India. Here we have a company A. Now, there is a institution, company B, and there is another company C. This one is local. Now, suppose it is sending a mobile phone. Let's say they are sending it at $100. Now, this company A was selling the same thing at, let's say, $90. So, what is the European Union saying? European Union, CBAM. It basically says that this is paying extra, cost is high because of environmental compliance. It is saying that this company, it is having high cost because of environmental compliance, whereas a company in India is selling it at $90 to this one because it is not having carbon compliance. There is no carbon compliance here. So as per European Union, this company B, if it is taking, it will have to plus $10. Let's say $10 is the carbon tax. I'm not saying that it will be exactly $10 or $12 or $15, but here a portion of it will be levied on this. So now here the actual cost will become how much? $100. Now think about this. If it is getting a product from India, it is paying $100. If it is getting a local product also, it is paying $100. So why it will waste its resources, why it will have higher compliance, and why it will purchase the goods from India? It can get it from European Union in a simple manner. It can be local, it can be more a surety. So they are going to focus more on company C rather than company A. That is one part. And European Union is saying that it will help in carbon compliance across the world. That it will help in carbon compliance across the world. India will also have green energy. India will also go through green industry. Okay. That it says that it will promote green industry and energy. Green energy, green industry. It says that it will reduce CO2 emission. That this is going to reduce the carbon dioxide emission. That is what European Union is saying. That first, it will provide a level playing field to the European companies. One part, it will provide a level playing field to the European companies. Second thing, it will also ensure carbon dioxide reduction across the globe. It will also help in ensuring carbon compliance. It will help in promoting green energy and industry in developing nations. But in actual, what we see that this is going to harm the industry of smaller nations. It is going to harm our industries. So what we see here now, that this is something which is effective from It is something which is effective from 1st January 2026. Okay. And it is impacting steel sector, cement, aluminium, fertilizer, electricity and hydrogen sector. These are the sectors which are largely impacted. Export, this is going to become less competitive. Reduction in export. And we know that if we are having a reduction in export, what challenges we may have. You are already aware. You are already aware about this, that we are having a depreciation of currency at a very fast pace in the present times. In the present times, we are having a depreciation of currency at a very fast pace. And add on that, in addition to that part, if we are having the carbon border adjustment mechanism, this is further going to harm our exports, means lesser forex earning. You can connect it with other challenges. Okay. We are having less forex earning. We are going to have depreciation of currency. Depreciation of currency. We are going to have the balance of payment issue. Balance of payment challenge. So all the challenges are emerging because of this carbon border adjustment mechanism. Okay. That means the FTA comes with CBM. See, we are having a trade agreement, but trade agreement is not providing solution for this carbon border adjustment mechanism. We are going to have a trade agreement with European Union, but it is not giving a solution for this CBAM. It is not covered. This is something which is not covered in FTA. In our free trade agreement, CBAM is not covered. It means despite having this agreement, we are going to have a challenge. Despite having the agreement, we are going to have the challenge of carbon border adjustment mechanism. Now, it is not only challenging for export. You will see another part of it. Okay. If we look at this, it is not only confined to the exports. Okay. Now see here, the top suppliers of fertilizers, they are also major suppliers for India. Those who are supplying the fertilizers to Europe, they are also supplying the fertilizers to India. Now, in the case of Europe, their cost is going to increase. So, they are going to pass on the cost to other areas also. Suppose that if I am facing a loss in one industry, I will try to compensate it from other areas. If I am facing a loss in one part, then I will try to compensate it from the other areas. Like if I have 100 kg of apples, if I have got 100 kg of apples, I have sold 10 kg at 10 rupees. However, the actual cost was 50 rupees. So now on the remaining 90 kg, I will try to increase the price in such a manner that my loss is covered. So what we see that this is something which may lead to increase in the global prices of fertilizer. When we talk about India, there is a heavy dependence of fertilizer import. So this is going to impact our agriculture sector, farm profitability and high food prices. So there is a legal option under Article 7 or 8 of the European Union CBM that can help India exporter to offset. Of course, they can pay a carbon tax in India. That's correct. If they are paying a carbon tax in India, then they can offset the carbon tax in European Union. Fine. Let me tell you one thing. Suppose that there is an Indian exporter. Indian exporter. It is selling a product X. The cost is like, let's say, rupees 90. It is selling this at 90. Now suppose it is going to European Union. So carbon border adjustment mechanism. Now plus rupees 10, so cost become 100. Let's say it is paying a carbon tax in India plus rupees 10, the cost becomes 100. So whether you are paying tax here in India or you are paying tax outside India, whether you are paying tax here in India or outside India, it is not going to change it. It can be somewhat lower. Let's say here the carbon tax is only rupees 8. Let's say here the carbon tax is only rupees 8. So still your cost is going to be 98. So it is not a complete solution. They are saying either you can pay the tax in European Union or you can pay the tax in India. So just by paying a tax in India, their competitiveness is not going to increase. Their competitiveness is not going to increase even if they are paying the tax in India. So now what we see, there are other part also. There is a butterfly impact. What is butterfly impact? A change in one part can also have change in all other parts. A change in one area may have impact on all other areas. So what we see that this carbon border adjustment mechanism, it can inspire other developed nation. Okay. It can also give an inspiration to other nations like US. It can also come with some policy. Other developed nations, they can also come with some policy. Okay. So this is something which is going to be a challenge for India. So now the question is, then what is the solution? First thing is, we need to have greater investment in clean energy. Here we can reduce the carbon footprint. We can reduce carbon footprint. We can reduce the carbon footprint. So if we are having lesser carbon footprint, then CBAM will not apply to our products or will be lesser applicable to our products. If our industries are showing this, that we are not using carbon, so why will you impose carbon tax? We are using green energy. So there is no leakage of carbon. If there is no leakage of carbon, carbon border adjustment mechanism will not be applicable. So this is one part. Second thing is a strict implementation of carbon policies to improve the carbon efficiency. In our country, last year, we have seen that we have got a new policy. In 2025, we have got greenhouse gas emission intensity target. That we have also given a target to our industries that you have to reduce your emission. We have to improve your efficiency. You have to reduce the emission, you have to improve the efficiency. So last year in 2025, we have already got a policy for this one. Okay. At the international level also, India has to negotiate for equitable treatment of developing countries. That India has to also look at this part, that you cannot treat China in a different manner, you cannot treat other countries in different manner and India in different manner. If you are treating, you have to treat every developing country in the same manner. And even with the developed nations, you have to maintain that equity, not equality, equity. That according to our capacity, if a carbon border tax is applicable on India or any other developing nation, it should be on the basis of its capacity. It should be on the basis of its capacity. Then only it can be fair. Then only it can be fair. So that is something which India should argue. Okay. And we can have a phased transition. We can go for a phased transition to clean energy, green industry and everything. So this is something which is the way forward for India, that we are having a challenge, and this challenge is not going to be over. European Union is not going to do away with carbon border adjustment mechanism. So what we have to do? We have to find the solutions for it. We have to find the best solutions for tackling this one issue. So this is one of the challenge. Now here again we have a question. The present global order are creating new challenges for trade for developing nations. Discuss in context of CBM and its impact on India. Okay. Sorry, I cannot see your question, Aditya. There was one question from your side also. Just 1 second. Sir, is there any restriction on cost of CABM or its complete autonomy of country to fix this? Cost of CABM, this is something which is going to be calculated by European Union. What will be the additional cost? What will be the carbon tax? That is something which is calculated by the European Union on different quality of products, on what mechanism has been followed to make that product. So it is going to vary. There is no one single tax of, let's say, $1 or $2 or €1 or €2. There is not a single tax. It depends on the product. It depends on the process in which the product has been designed. So the tax which is going to be applicable depends on the product which has been exported. Now we have the third question. We have the third topic. Achha, there is also one thing. We have to also reduce import dependence through higher domestic production. When we talk about the fertilizer, when we talk about the fertilizers, we have to also do this. We have to have a better implementation of the soil health cards. We also need promotion of balanced and need-based application of fertilizer. That is also something which is required for us. So we are having a solution for the export also. We are having the solution for the import also. Now we are coming to the next topic, that is AI and misinformation. So tell me one thing. If I am showing you this one picture, look at this one thing. You can see, you can relate with this. Okay. So here you have an image of a classroom where students are solving the prelims question paper, and they are taking the help of Lakshmikant book in order to solve the questions. Is it AI generated or is it a real picture? If we look at this, is it AI generated or is it a real picture? If you look at this one classroom photo, is it AI generated or is it a real picture? AI. Open book test in prelims. Yes. So this is AI generated. But if I ask you about this one, is this AI generated or is it a real image? This second one which is there, the second one which we are having, is it AI picture or is it a real one? AI picture. AI generated. So of course you can understand. Plus second thing is I am not that pro in designing a AI image. I am not that much of a professional in generating an AI image, so you can easily understand it. But suppose that if I am having a certificate that I have completed my masters from IIT. If I am having a certificate, I am teaching to you on regular basis. I am teaching to you on a regular basis, and if I show you that I have a master's degree from IIT Delhi, okay. So will you consider that AI generated, or you may believe it? Will you consider that if I show you that I have a master's degree from IIT Delhi? So will you consider that AI generated if I'm teaching science tech to you on daily basis? If I'm teaching science tech to you on daily basis, I am explaining all the concept. Okay. And then I am showing you a degree that I am having a master's from IIT. So is there a chance that you may believe that it is actual? There is a chance that you may believe that it is actual. If I am showing you that I have got some research paper published in the research journals of India, I am showing you an image. Okay. If I am showing you a research paper published by me, if I am showing an image of a research paper published in some research journal that has been done by me, so you may be believing it. So now the AI which is there, AI is becoming more powerful. AI is becoming more powerful day by day, and it is creating a new era of misinformation. It is making so much realistic content that now people may believe on this. That is one challenge. Second thing is, people may have an apprehension like this that they might not be believing on anything. Okay. There is two parts of it. You understand this one thing. There will be some people who will believe on the realistic images which has been created by AI. That is part one. Second part is this, that some people may lose the trust on all the content. कई लोगों में कंटेंट के प्रति जो ट्रस्ट है वो पूरी तरीके से खत्म हो जाएगा. They will not be even able to believe some realistic things also. So there is a twin challenges which we see here. What we see that they can generate this real looking images, okay, and the ability to verify such content is becoming challenging. ये डे बाय डे और चैलेंजिंग होता चला जाएगा. The verification of this content is becoming challenging day by day. What we see that they can accept AI generated images posted on these platforms as real. Gradually a time will come when people may generate this. Okay. So what we see here, that if there is a person on LinkedIn, they are showing a research paper published by him, having some images on LinkedIn profile, then who is going to verify it? If they are applying for job somewhere, who is going to verify if their research paper is actually published or not? A very simple fake profile can be created on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. So this is one of the challenging situation. Now what we see that AI systems, we are having this one of the challenges. Just see this one thing. AI generated content can also be used in form of evidence or pleadings that are submitted before court using AI platforms. We can also have AI made AI made images and everything. We can have AI made images and everything which can be used as evidence. This can be used as evidence. Now you may be aware that under the new laws, we have got 3 new laws. Bharat Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita, okay. Then BNS, BNSS and BSA, Bharatiya Sakshya Adhiniyam. There is BNS, BNSS and BSA. 3 new acts are there. So now under these 3 new acts, you may be aware that electronic evidences are now being accepted. Now there is a higher acceptance of electronic evidence. So now there can also be a case where people can generate fake AI images or videos, and those fake AI images or videos can be produced as evidence. However, the Supreme Court and High Courts have warned the advocates. They have warned the advocates that you should never use AI for pleadings or any such evidence. So this is one of the challenge. Now what we see that we have got this amendment to IT rules 2026. Okay. This mandate the disclosure of AI generated or altered content through the video. Government has recently come up with the IT rules, and those IT rules are saying that if you are creating an image, if you are creating a video, and if you are using AI, then you have to declare it. If the user is not declaring it, then the intermediary, the platform must find it and then they have to declare it. So they have to also declare that this is AI generated or not. So this is one thing which has been said. Now what we also see that they have got 3 hours to remove synthetically generated content upon receiving a court order or government notification. That if a synthetic AI content, if a fabricated AI content has been created, then within 3 hours they have to remove that from their platforms. Okay. And what we see that the personal complaints filed by users must be solved within 36 hours of its filing. That if suppose someone is using my AI image, I think no one is using, but still, if someone is using my AI image, then I can file a complaint against it and it has to be solved within 36 hours. So some new thing has come up. Some new things have come up with respect to the IT rules. What we again need to do, okay, what needs to be done? We need to develop a code of ethics for AI platforms. The AI platforms which are there like ChatGPT or any other things, we need to develop a ethical code for them also. What they can generate, what they cannot generate. Okay. So we need to prevent them from generating images or videos that would undermine trust in digital news. Okay. We also need developing digital and AI literacy among the public. We need to develop this AI literacy also among the public, because at the end of the day, it is the public who is having more chances of getting deceived by the fake AI images or videos. Okay. So that is one thing which we have to do. See, I am very much amazed about this. I am very much happy about this, that the new generation which is coming, they have got a better sense of what is AI image and what is not an AI image. They are able to identify it quickly. The new generations which are there, they are able to identify it quickly. But the older generation, they are more likely to be deceived by it. They are more likely to be deceived by it. So there is a need of promoting AI literacy among them. I hope that's clear. Okay, so that will be all. Let's discuss the question first. Let's discuss this one question. The anti-defection law has not been able to attain its objective with respect to mass defections and merger. Comment. बहुत तेज आंधी और बारिश हो रही है. That's very good. That's very good. The way we were getting heat waves, if there is a cyclone also, then also it is something which we want. If there is huge rainfall, cyclones, then also we can accept. But the heat wave which was going on, it was quite challenging. So how many of you have written this answer and how much time you have taken? First, how many you have written? How many of you have written? Second thing, time. The time which you have taken in order to write this. Last day you have got a holiday, so I think you all may have written this. सबने लिखा या नहीं? ठंड भी लग रहा है. Very good. Send that rainfall to Delhi also. Send the rain to Delhi also. How much time you have taken in order to write this? This is a 15 marks question, 250 words. So how much time you have taken? How many words you have written here? 13 minutes. Good. 9 minutes. Very good. 15 minutes, 235 words. Good. Chalo, let's see this. Anti-defection law has not been able to attain its objective. When we will start introduction. So this is a polity related question. This is a polity related question. So what will be the introduction? ये polity से related question है, तो then what should be the introduction? What should be the beginning part? If this is a polity related question, what should be the introduction in here? What we should count in introduction? कैसे start करें इसको? $10 minutes for writing, then still it's good. I have started with 52nd Amendment Act. Good. It means we have to start with the constitutional provision. We should be starting the answer with constitutional provisions. We should be starting this with the constitutional provisions. That's quite good. 52nd Amendment Act. Okay. 52nd Amendment Act or 10th Schedule. Okay. So whenever you are getting a polity related question, try to start with some law, some constitution, some judgment of Supreme Court or some committee recommendation. That is one way of starting the good introduction. Okay. Now, the anti-defection law has not been able to attain its objective with respect to mass defection. So what you are going to do? First of all, you are going to mention provision of 10th schedule First of all, you are going to provide this provision of 10th schedule with respect to merger. You are going to provide the provision of 10th schedule with respect to merger. You must mention paragraph 4. You must have mentioned paragraph 4 of 10th schedule. This is one keyword. This is one keyword which you should have mentioned. तो पहली चीज ये है, this is the first introduction part. Second part, provision of 10th schedule with respect to merger. You must have quoted the paragraph 4 of the 10th schedule. This is a requirement when you are writing polity answer. You have to be technical. You have to be technical, you have to be precise, you have to add the articles in order to make sure your answer is having authenticity. This is something which is going to bring authenticity to your answer. So this is one part. Provision of 10th schedule with respect to merger. Okay. Now coming to the third part. The third part, challenges with respect to this provision. Challenges with respect to provisions. You can mention here about the Rajya Sabha case. Rajya Sabha, you can mention about the smaller states. You can even mention about the case of Maharashtra. You can mention about the cases of Maharashtra. So third part is challenges with respect to this provision of merger or mass defection. Okay. Then fourth part where you can discuss the fourth part where we can discuss the original intent of paragraph 4. You can mention that what was the original intent of the paragraph 4. Okay. Then fifth part, you can mention that what can be the way forward. One more thing, if you want, you can add some Supreme Court judgment with respect to this. You can add a Supreme Court judgment also with respect to this. And then sixth part, you can mention that what can be the way forward here. That what changes may be done here. What changes may be announced here with respect to this merger or mass defection. Then seventh part is you can mention about the conclusion. Now in seventh part, when you are writing conclusion, here you have to try to incorporate ethical conduct in political parties and representatives. You can mention about the relevance of ethics or significance of ethics. Significance of ethics in polity. That there is a need of promoting the significance of ethics, the morality in politics. The law is there. The law may always have a loophole. The law may always have a loophole. What we need to promote is the ethics and morality in politics. So this is one thing which you have to add. Can we write anything in way forward which we want? But don't give it too much like provocative. It should not be too much provocative. Kyoto case, judicial review is allowed. Okay. See, here basically when we are talking about Supreme Court judgment, in the last session, I have given you some judgments in the notes also. और आप देखोगे कुछ जजमेंट्स नोट्स में हैं where it is mentioned कि what is the merger and what is not considered as merger. So if you go through the notes of the last class, you will find reference of some cases. You will find reference of some cases where it has been said that whether this is allowed or not allowed. Yes, very good, Ginny. Okay. So this is one part which you have to write. See, sometimes in the classes, I cannot explain each and every part. So some of the portions are mentioned in the notes also. So when you are going through the PDF of it, you will find some judgments, some examples which are also quoted there. So I try to explain most of them, but some of them remain in the notes also. So go through the notes also sometime. It is going to help you. Okay. So how much answer is similar? How much part of the answer is similar? See, today again we are having a question with respect to polity. Today again we are having a question with respect to polity. So see, we are practicing the current issues related to polity, economy, international order, and related things on a daily basis. If you are writing answers on this, be very much assured your static preparation is also going on through the current preparation. Okay. If you are writing answers on continuous basis, if you are making changes, on a regular basis, you will find a very good command on the static portion also. So thank you everyone. So that will be all for today. There is just this one information for all of you. We are going to have this UPSC mains test series from 5th of June. Okay. So thank you everyone for watching this session. All the best. Take care. Okay, only one thing is not in your answers, so next time you can include it. Okay. So thank you everyone. You have to work. This is an ongoing process, Jenny. See, you have been able to solve many of the things. In conclusion, you have to be somewhat more innovative, and gradually after writing 100+ answers, you will get a very good hold on the conclusion part also. What about other subjects? I have not started answering other subjects. You can start some practice questions on history, geography. Okay. You can start some answer writing practice on history also, geography also, and especially optional. You should start some answer writing practice on optional also. We have the previous year question booklet of optionals. I think you all may have got that already. So if you have got a optional previous year question booklet, that is the best source for you to practice the questions. So try to go through it and solve questions topic wise. Okay. So thank you everyone. Take care. All the best. Thank you.